And we are ready for the marquee matchup on day number 1 of our second event of the 2023 National Volleyball Association season. It is the Las Vegas Ramblers against the Las Vegas Ramblers 2.0 as the Ramblers take on the San Diego Wild, coached by Nick England, a team that, well, signed a number of former Las Vegas Ramblers to their expansion squad in the free agent offseason. And today, well, guess what? They play for the only time in the regular season. Las Vegas, well, they're 1-1 coming off an upset, shocking loss to some to the Inland Empire Matadors. San Diego, they are 2-0 on the year and have scored all 6 points on the season. He's Matt Prosser. I'm Ira Thor. We're going to send it to the third man of our crew, standing by us, no Chas, with some insight for today's match.
Ira, thank you so much. You mentioned this Ramblers versus Ramblers 2 or versus this Wild team. A lot on the line right now, mainly pride. I talked to head coach Miguel from the Las Vegas Ramblers, and he said he'd be lying if he said this one didn't mean a little bit more. The players that are on this team, and maybe the ones that aren't here yet, you know, they won a championship together. They go and have dinner together, and so it was definitely tough having them go to a new squad. So he's being honest, there is a little bit more meaning to this one. Now, in terms of the Las Vegas Ramblers that you're going to see, they have some new additions compared to Event 1. They're bringing in Max Chamberlain. They're bringing back Jonathan Carlson. And someone you met in Event 1, Jalen Penrose, was supposed to be in South Korea, but he just walked in the building about 5 minutes ago, so they will be having Jalen Penrose. So a lot of talented players on this Las Vegas Ramblers roster. But Coach Miguel told me, he said, you know what? Having big names doesn't matter if you don't go out and win it, if you don't go out and prove it on the court. So the big names, the big talent is not on their mind. Their mind is getting some, I want to say revenge, but some sweet victory over their former foes. Guys?
I guess Jalen Penrose has
Very interesting
he's
turn
got
of events.
a private jet to get back from Korea.
It's still a long flight from South Korea, but at least he's here in the arena.
Some breaking news there. That could potentially change the outcome of this one. But, you know, all jokes aside, obviously Las Vegas, the defending champions, they have lost a number of pieces. They've gotten some pieces. Felix Chapman, of course, the big name. Last year's most valuable player in the NVA for the Dallas Tornadoes. Of course, Tornadoes are no more, but Felix Chapman is very much more.
Yeah, you know, this team from Las Vegas, they got the championship from 2022. But if you looked at their roster, really only about 2 or 3 players from that team are still on the current club. So a full rebuild. They brought some big players in, some hugely physical guys on the team as well. And they've got a lot of weapons, Ira.
Yeah, looking out at those weapons, and of course, John Carlson certainly going to make an impact today. They lost Ryan Mather, of course. That was one of the biggest losses this year. He's perhaps been the best all-around player in the NVA so far, moving to the Texas Tyrants.
Obviously,
Brandon Rattray is
Chapman,
playing overseas.
Yeah.
We're not sure when we'll see him this year, if at all. So, obviously, Felix Chapman is the biggest pickup on the season. For the San Diego Wild, though, I mean, when you talk about expansion teams, Matt, typically if they finish in the top third, that's a win. If they finish in the top half, that's a win. You look at what Puerto Rico has done so far. Competitive, but 0-3. Philadelphia, very competitive today against good Texas Tyrant squad. Yet, doesn't matter. They're 0-3 right now. San Diego has scored every possible point so far in dominant fashion in their first 2 matches on the season. And you know what? They might be a title contender in year 1 if they can knock off Las Vegas today.
Well, this is going to be a true test right now. And for some more information on that test, I think Noah's got some extra insider stuff for us. Noah.
Thank you, Matt. I talked to head coach Nick England of the San Diego Wild, told him what Miguel said, that this game means a little bit more. And he said, doesn't mean any more to me. Maybe he was being stoic or trying to put on a show, but he meant it honestly. He said, we know what this Rambler team is, and what I want to see more than a win or loss is how our team responds to this talented squad on the other side. Not a whole lot of changes. They're bringing in Chris Schaefer, but otherwise mostly the same lineup as we saw from Event 1. And Nick England said the key was to execute and was to serve to get them out of system. But he mentioned, and we know this well, you can only do so much executing and game planning when it comes to a Felix Chapman who's gone wild.
I don't believe that for a darn second.
Is that
this
a pun?
match
Was that a
doesn't
pun?
mean anything. I think that was a pun,
Felix
by the way.
Chapman, gone wild.
Gone wild. Yeah, well, we'll see if San Diego is able to contain him today so he doesn't ramble into the 20-kill column yet again. But
well, look, you know that Nick England is going to coach his team really well. He obviously knows Miguel, he knows Vinny Rodriguez very well and what they try to do with their team, right? Now, this Ramblers team is very physical, and I personally have not had a chance to see this Wild team play.
Nor have I.
San Diego's a perfect market for a men's professional volleyball team. Absolutely. As this is a wonderful opportunity for the NVA to be in San Diego and have a team from that community. It's a huge aspect of San Diego is volleyball, indoors, outdoors, youth, adult, the whole thing, historically as well. But this is going to be a big test for them today against the Las Vegas Ramblers.
Now, this is a match that I picked San Diego to win today in our pregame matches. You and Noah, who are on the broadcast, of course, picked Las Vegas. No way in the world Nick was picking against his own team,
nope.
Even if he doesn't admit out loud that this match means more. But we know this match means more, as the Las Vegas Ramblers senior take on the Las Vegas Ramblers junior today, with the children trying to show off the parents, I guess is the way you say it. This is all in the family. And listen, something that we don't even talk about too much, all jokes aside, is the fact that most of the Las Vegas Ramblers players live in California. They practice here, right? They may represent the city of Las Vegas, but this is where they live. This is where they practice.
Yep.
Practice in the same gym quite a bit. So these guys do see each other throughout the year. They know each other's intricacies on the court. They know their weakness and their strength. So there's not a lot of secrets here amongst these players, even if somebody might just get off a plane and show up from Korea.
This is true. I mean, there is a level of gamesmanship, right? And some top secret training places and matches and training sessions and whatnot. But you're right. A lot of these guys do live in Southern California, and they train with other teams. And so this could be this will be a very fun match. It could go the distance for sure. I expect this one to be very close all the way through every set. It could go 3 deuce games. It could go 5 deuce games. I mean, just get comfortable because it could take a long time.
Yeah, I expect this to be a 4-5 setter at least. Now, obviously, the big addition for Las Vegas today, Kid Chamberlain out of Pepperdine, is going to help their lineup as well to try to fortify, because they don't have all the pieces that they were when they were a championship team. Somebody else has to come in and become that next star. Kaveen Vaz obviously has been a good player, somebody that could take over a match if given the right circumstances. But again, chance today for San Diego as the teams take the court here to show that, hey, we're not just a feel-good expansion team that's 2-0. We're the real deal. And today they're going to have a chance to prove it. San Diego's weekend, by the way, Sunday, they will take on the LA Blaze in the final match of the weekend. Meanwhile, for the Las Vegas Ramblers, after today's match, they will be back in action on Sunday in a very difficult match again when they take on the also undefeated New Jersey Freedom. San Diego will serve first. It'll be Elder Colby getting us going live here from the Long Beach, California, and Long Beach City College, and we start with Felix Chapman going boom. So Kaveen Vaz is your server, the 28-year-old who also is a product of Pepperdine. And that one lands in Malibu. So he's Matt Prosser, I'm Ira Thor, Noah Chest. Gonna have so much insight throughout the day. Las Vegas, of course, lost their first match in 11 contests dating back to last season.
Some glares coming in from the setting sun outside the arena here through some of the doorways. So we're just going to get a quick door check.
That's a first here. All right, well, now we know that the setting sun for a 7 o'clock match can be a factor.
Pretty sure Nick England caught that glare coming off the floor.
Chapman with the pass. The back set is blocked back and picked up by our camp. Doing a good job of staying off the net is San Diego. Chapman on the outside and gets the result. Chapman, again, such a versatile player where you can put him on either pin and pretty much get the same result. He will be on the outside today.
I mean, I'm looking at this Ramblers side, and their size, their physical size is just, I mean, I see 6'8", 6'7", 6'6", 6'5". I mean, they are a large statured team that's going to cause a lot of problems at the net.
There's Gert Leash on the serve, and a big answer from San Diego. So a 2-2 game early on here in the first set. And it will be Joshua Duarte, another former Las Vegas Rambler, serving for San Diego. Reach out and stop someone. Uchenna Ofoha making his presence felt, a former member of the Southern Exposure. And he teamed up there with Joel Auerkamp, got him involved. Auerkamp on the right side, number 22. And a quick answer, Chapman from the right side. You're not going to be able to contain him very long. Last year, well, all he did was put together the top 5 single match kill performances in the history of the NVA, all 27 or more. Including an all-time high, I believe it was 36 if I remember correctly. And that one caroms off the tape for the excuse me ace.
Now the setter at the net for the Wild took his eye off the ball and got a lucky home side bounce off the net for that trickler ace, Ira.
Ramblers started the year with a 3-1 victory over Southern Exposure. Felix Chapman was the man of the match in that one. He was the man of the year last year. Former national champion at Grandview University. That one misses long, so side out to San Diego for Joel Auerkamp. 6'7" out of UC San Diego. There's Eric Beatty, the former Stanford standout, formerly with the Inland Empire Matadors. Chapman with the dig. They go to Beatty, who's the other outside in his first year playing for Las Vegas. Down the line, oh, Auerkamp destroys it from the back row.
Auerkamp had a good season last year. Got some good quality playing time at that opposite position as a lefty. Changes up the angles a little bit with his offense, and look for San Diego to utilize him a lot here tonight.
Emmett Enriquez, number 4, is a libero for Las Vegas out of Cal State Northridge. On the back row, Felix Chapman, doing bad things.
That's something we haven't seen Felix Chapman do very often, is hit the bick out of the back row. As an outside hitter this year, he's available to do that. And that's a new wrinkle to the offense. It's going to be very hard to stop.
Here's Tim Lurich, middle for Las Vegas. That ball will find the slot. Tim Lurich, of course, number 8, the former member of Southern Exposure. So Las Vegas has rebuilt its roster by picking off some good available players from other teams. Former Dallas Tornadoes, former Inland Empire Matadors, former Southern Exposure. San Diego with the serve. They go back to Beatty, blocked back. Chapman read it. Beatty's second try, changes where he's going. Auerkamp gets blocked back. Quickly picked up by San Diego and dumped over. Well covered by the Wild. And that is blocked back again on the attack by Karlzig. And ultimately, Beatty caught a piece of the net. When you have a rally going that long, that physical, it's ultimately something is going to end it dramatically. In this case, it was a blocking error. So here is Kendall Ratter out of Princeton. They're very smart there. Unleashes a brilliant near ace as this won't get over. Oh, a mental mistake for the Ramblers. And San Diego has themselves a 3-point lead.
Good service pressure from San Diego so far in this match, keeping Las Vegas out of system.
Got a guy from Princeton and a guy from Stanford on the court. And he goes after the guy from Stanford. Blocked back, covered here by Las Vegas. Oh, thunder from the Ramblers. And they celebrate the absolute blast from Jalen Penrose. Frequent Flyers on that one.
That was an absolute hammer, Ira. Hammer.
Penrose out of Penn State and unleashes the ace with a roar. A normal man would have impossible to get off a plane from Korea with that jet lag and be able to step on the court, but he's not a normal man. Nearly an ace there. That was run down and then sent over and shut down as Kaveen Vaz there to close the window on San Diego. And 3-point run here for the Ramblers. It's 8-8.
Yeah, really good disciplined block that time by Kaveen Vaz. Unfortunate turn for Lachena Foha as that back one didn't quite work out for the Wild.
Ramblers at the American Coastal. As that is put away by our camp. Wild, of course, have the American Central. They are not in the same division, so this is the only meeting of the regular season between these teams. But, of course, this could be a preview for something we see later in the year. And a Foha misses long. Our first year playing here in Long Beach after the last 2 years in San Bernardino. And the gym is nice and cool.
And big with a high ceiling.
And you know what, and that's something that really, during the second and third matches, they really stood out to me with balls that were probably going up 80 feet and still were nowhere near hitting the ceiling. So plenty of aerial space to work with. From the back row, touch, yes indeed, as that's put away by Ratter. Just 27 years old. Here is Elder Colby. I'm sorry, Colby Elder. I can't read my own notes here. Gotta get bigger font. Off the net, cannot be saved, and put another one in the Penrose column. As Jalen with a hot start here for Las Vegas will hand the ball to Kaveen Vaz. From the back row, run down, and then it's Beatty there, just enough to get it over. Chance here for San Diego. And a miscue there on the set, and a deep push. Vegas fights for that one. Wow.
The setter for Las Vegas, USC graduate Gert Lisha, that time with the heads-up plays in the front row. Senses the tight pass and then just taps it back to the coffin corner for the point.
So Kaveen Vaz now serving his team up by 1. Las Vegas, the visiting team on the scoreboard in this one. And that's left short. Fans continuing to enter the facility for this nightcap day 1 of 3. This is our second event of 5 regular season events, so 15 days in the regular season. These teams each will play 10 regular season matches. And that's yet another one for Felix Chapman. You know, one thing for sure, death taxes and Felix Chapman going to ring up kills. He's going to get his, and it's a matter of who else on Las Vegas can they slow down if you're San Diego. It's not going to be Penrose the way he's playing right now. Blocked back and well read by Joel Auerkamp.
Nice heads-up play there by Joel Auerkamp at the net. Stays home. Good reaction on that quick set to Chapman and gets the block point.
And we are even at a dozen apiece as they hand the ball to Joshua Duarte, again, a former Rambler out of Concordia Irvine. This is long. And Felix Chapman is your server, already has 1 ace today. Another big serve from Chapman. And down the line, chalking up the kill for San Diego is Kendall Ratter.
You know, Ratter doesn't really have the physical stature to be someone that you would expect to have that much heat from the left side. But he's doing a great job with his angles of attack, whether it's in the front row or the back row. That time he was off the net a bit there, able to sneak it down the line for the point.
Yeah, he's a lot more crafty than he gets credit for. Felix Chapman from the back row, his first misfire of the match. And swing that often, at some point you're not going to connect. So he'll go back to the woodshed his next time out. And the Ramblers have now seen San Diego come back to take the 1-point lead here. It's been a really competitive first set. Chapman, great pass, going to go to Beatty. And that is not going to come back. San Diego ran out of room, and that takes us to the 15th point here in this first set. Substitution here for the Ramblers. Lurich will come out. And here is Jonathan Carlson out of Concordia Irvine. Carlson, a big part of last year's championship team. Nearly a free ball, but brought back, and Ocheno Fojas saves it. Here's Beatty swinging away. Reach out, and no. He gets the tool. And Beatty with a smart use there of Ocheno Fojas' reach to get the point. And it's 15-14 Las Vegas as we head to a tactical timeout here in game number 1. Back for more in a moment. And we're back here in Long Beach, California. Oh, that's us. It's Matt Prosser and Ira Thor.
Yeah, right.
We got a quick cameo. Look at that. I wonder if we get royalties for that half second.
I have to check the contract.
We have a contract?
Yeah, somewhere.
Carlson will be the server here as we come from the technical timeout. And Carlson, one of the stayovers from this squad. Again, they were in the finals 2 years ago. Got to the finals last year, won the title. Kevin Vaz was a big reason why, as he takes San Diego to Rejection City.
That was a dirty block right there from Kavim Vaz. Nice read, gets his hands over and shuts it down. Long arms way over the net that time.
16-14 now. And the run ends there. So here is Ratter to serve. And Chapman, a decoy there that goes long, and they will hand it to Jalen Penrose. Who can be in 2 time zones at the same time. Reach out and stuff someone! Kavim Vaz and Eric Beatty with a big one to expand the lead for Vegas to 3. Speaking about being way over the net, they completely shut the door there. Too long. So a reprieve here for the Wild. Cheno Foha, an all-star last year, playing for Orlando. Not an all-star server, though, as they will swap him out here for Christopher Schaefer. 6'3" outside out of UC San Diego. Nick England's done a good job of bringing in players from some of the best programs in the country, and then guys from smaller programs that have the talent, like Joshua Duarte, who feasts on that free ball. His libero, we haven't said his name much, but Joseph Picone, number 10 out of Cal State Northridge. One of the unsung heroes on this team so far this year as that ball's into the net. So trouble to the front row in Felix Chapman. And Eric Beatty will serve. Penrose. That's going to draw Vegas into the net. Close to a double. They don't call many at this level.
Well, being that he was the non-setter setting, I sort of thought that maybe they'd call that one.
That was close.
No one wants to see the referees blow whistles. They want to see volleyball. So just let them play.
I don't know. That one I would call blowing a whistle. That was up there on my list. And a good spot there for Vaz, who finds the back corner unoccupied.
Kavim Vaz also up there, that time attacking that ball well above the top of the antenna.
I was about to say, he was definitely at stand above the pin.
Nicely deep in the corner.
I mean, the top of the pin, you're talking about close to 11 feet.
Yeah, top of the pin is exactly at 11 feet.
That was just an approximate guess by me.
Well, that was a good guess, right on the money.
I was only that successful with my lotto picks. I might be having this conversation with a nicer shirt on. Actually, I like this shirt. Quality NVA gear. Miscommunication there. As San Diego, Nick England not liking what he saw there. It's a free point for Vegas. Becomes a 21-18 game rather than 2019. Matt Prosser would call timeout.
I would. I'm motioning to Nick. Maybe think about taking a timeout. Down by 3. You got to slow down the momentum.
Can't take him home with you. Penrose, that's a little bit cleaner. And Chapman couldn't do anything with it. Eric Beatty does a good job. That ball might have been out, but he had to play it. And Penrose tooling the block. Oh, man. What a pickup for Las Vegas Penrose has been.
Looks like Nick's not going to use any of his timeouts. Just let his guys work through it.
And he wants them to figure it out. From the back row, that's wide. And the lead expands. Las Vegas Ramblers pulling away the lead here in game number 1. And the Ramblers will hand the ball to Spencer Andrews. 6-foot setter, number 15 coming in here. Slugging it down the line, Camp stamps that one. Still a 4-point deficit, however.
Left-handed hammer from Joel Auerkamp on the left side of the court.
And a quick answer by Penrose, who can played at Penn State from 2015 through 2018. 6'8" out of Cambridge, Massachusetts. And he's gotten better since his undergraduate days ended 5 years ago. Now 27 years old. Set point for Las Vegas, but they will have to wait at least another. And that falls in for Joshua Duarte. And Duarte will try to stave off set point number 2 here. And an ace to finish. No. That lands in front of Las Vegas.
Extend.
Extend.
We'll play on.
Finish.
Ira.
Got excited. That's now 3 points in a row that they've staved off. Duarte again as that landed in front of Penrose and Beatty. Much better pass for Eric that time. And then Chapman gets the touch, and now it's finished off as the Las Vegas Ramblers take game number 1, 25-21, in a battle of the teacher and the pupil, perhaps. And we'll see if that changes when we come back here to Long Beach, California for game number 2. Back for set number 2. We're going to send it over to the sideline. And no chance has Las Vegas coach Miguel Monterola.
Well, Coach, you said pregame this game meant a little bit more, and you got this first set of this tough match. Tell me, how did it feel in that first set?
You know, a little bit of security blanket winning the first set. But the truth is that we're still not what I want to see him play in the next couple of days. So I'm hoping that throughout the day, we're going to get a little more familiar with each other. A couple of new familiar faces that should make our team much better. But we're going to have to deal with the growing pains of getting there.
Maybe not a surprise for you, but a surprise for us that Jalen showed up and hopped on the court. How big of an impact can he make?
You know, Jalen is a game changer. So we knew that there was a question mark a couple of days ago that he was going to miss. And I talked to him last night, and he's like, I'll be there. You know, so we almost kept it a secret, but we knew he was going to show up.
I love it. Are we going to see any other lineup changes throughout this match?
Yeah, so we definitely want to see guys like Petro. We're going to start Max Chamberlain on this game as another middle. And there'll be a few changes, I believe, here and there. But, you know, having somebody like Baby John back from last year's team is always a guy that make a difference.
Best of luck, Coach.
Thank you so much.
Guys, back to you.
Yeah, well, we saw not only the surprise of San Diego to see Penrose show up, you're still demonstrating the surprise. When we came back from break, I just can't believe he's out there.
Flabbergasted,
Still
you know.
flabbergasted.
I mean, it's a huge pickup for this Rambler team, and it's really going to cause a huge problem for the Wild. I mean, this Rambler team is deep, and, you know, looking at the stats after one set, they're very evenly balanced in their offense. You've got good blocking from the middle, good point scoring from the pin hitters, and a great offensive system being run by the setter.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the stats, surprised that Felix Chapman only has 5 kills so far. It seems like so much more.
He's on a team now that they won't need him to have 36 kills. They'll take it, don't get me wrong, but when you have so many more weapons on the court, the set distribution is going to negate that a little bit, and there's going to be some more equality perhaps in the point scoring opportunities.
Penrose got 5 himself, so those two by themselves have almost as much as the entire Wild squad. San Diego, our camp, obviously a great match so far, hitting 56% with 5 kills. Watch out for Kavin Vaz, 3 blocks in the early going. Doesn't say much, but when he's out there, and tell you what, he puts up one of the most unassuming big blocks in the NVA. You don't really see it coming, but when it does, it gets you. Like on cue.
Well, Vaz has been doing a great job at the net. He hasn't got a lot of sets so far in this match, but that's, I think, his 3rd or 4th block point in the match thus far.
Said his name, said he comes out of nowhere and like a python, not a Puerto Rican one, but you know, just a regular Las Vegas python came out of nowhere to block that. Go to Penrose, off the hands of our camp, and he picks up his 6th kill. There's pythons in the desert, right? Oh, there's the cobras? I don't know.
Yet. They're making their way out of Florida across the country.
They will eventually get there.
Yeah. Not quite their preferred temperature.
To hop on I-10 and see what happens. Gotta get through Houston first. That traffic is a killer. Chapman had to stutter step back, still got the touch out of it, and gets the 6th kill. And right now, seeing that Penrose-Chapman combination, had I known Penrose would have been here, I probably would have taken Vegas today.
Hey, the match isn't over yet, Ira. You never know.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to change my pick, though.
San Diego could still make some magic happen.
I'm not allowed to change my pick.
Don't let Nick hear that.
His rules of engagement. Well, Nick was going to take San Diego no matter what. And a good spot there for Joel Auerkamp as he picks up his 6th kill. Now, the 3 big eaters are certainly having a feast on the kill market right now. Who else for San Diego is going to get involved, though?
Yeah, that's a really good question and a very large question mark as to who is going to get that offensive production for San Diego, because it's been pretty centered around Joel Auerkamp.
Now that's going to be an unleashed ace here for San Diego as Owen Karlzig, he gets in the ace column. And there's rumblings, and we're not going to mention the names on the air, but there's rumblings of San Diego adding some players in the coming weeks once their international seasons are over, and potentially, strengthening their squad for the 3rd and 4th events of the year. But until that happens,
I'm pretty sure every team across the NVA is going to be doing that. Those Italian, well, Italy, wherever these leagues may be happening, they are wrapping up. NCAA season's wrapping up, obviously, as well. And I do expect to see a lot of these teams pick up players from overseas and from the domestic NCAA season as well.
National championship happening in Virginia right now at George Mason. And UCLA taking on a Hawaii squad looking for its 3rd straight national championship.
Yeah, it'd be quite a feat to win 3 straight national championships.
I don't think it's been done since the great UCLA teams of the 80s.
UCLA hasn't won a national championship since 2006, I believe. Their longest drought in recorded history for that program.
UCLA for the first 20-something years of the sport, you'd probably say the first 30 years, quite frankly, were most years the only show in town, you know, until you got to about the mid-90s. And then other teams, Long Beach State, your alma mater, and others started to emerge. And, you know, since the mid-2000s, there's been a lot of teams. I mean, Loyola Chicago has won national championships. Won 2 of them, in fact.
Yeah, you do see a trend with a lot of the collegiate programs and national championships with the same school winning back-to-back times when they have that core group of players, right? Long Beach State did it a few years back with Josh Tuaniga and TJ DeFalco, Kyle Ensing, that group. Now Hawaii's done it the last 2 years. They've got a bunch of seniors. Jakob Tella is a great setter. He was the AVCA Player of the Year. He's going to be graduating, and this is kind of their last hurrah, right?
And they were able to exercise the only demon that's been able to really solve them this year, and that was Penn State. Jalen Penrose's alma mater. Chapman got the net. Chapman finally nods to the official. Yeah, I guess I did get it. And I think I talked about this with Nick on the earlier match today, but I thought at the Division I level, there's 4 teams that could have won it this year. So you had the right Final Four.
Yeah, I agree with you. It was clearly 4 very solid programs across the country and equally balanced out from the West Coast, obviously, and, you know, the East Coast, Penn State being that team. But it'll make for a very exciting championship match on Saturday night.
And, of course, the National Collegiate National Poll, which comes out every week, is the AVCA NVA National Poll. Great partnership between the NVA and the AVCA, particularly because the number of great collegiate players will eventually find their way play pro here in Southern California for the premier professional volleyball league in the United States. Joshua Duarte, your server. 6-6 game, very tight and early going here in game 2. Eric Beatty couldn't get the arms back in time, and he gets nicked there for the ace. I said Duarte, that was actually the Princeton native. Ratter, he's number 99. And he wishes that one was in as Owen Karlzig, you see Santa Barbara native. And Product couldn't find the line and the side out to the Ramblers. And we will see ball handed to Max Chamberlain making his debut. 6'7" out of Pepperdine. And misses just long. Chamberlain, a middle, expected to make a difference for Las Vegas this year as he's swapped out here for the libero Emin Enriquez. Cheno Foha will get a chance to serve this time. Too long. Foha was the top player for Southern Exposure last year. I think you take him out of the lineup, and they are not a playoff team by any stretch last season.
He was a key player for that team, for sure.
And they had other talent, obviously, but he was certainly their biggest star. And the net clearly there by Beatty, swinging like he's in hitting lines. Unfortunately, they get called here, though.
That set just drifted a little bit tight on him. Tough one to stay out of the net on that time.
Beatty with a better pass, back set to Penrose, and that's going to be dug over by Picone. But a second chance, not so much, as Kevin Vaz gets the touch, and the ball caroms out into the hallway. The door is open again to the concourse. Well, because the sun, it is set over Southern California. Beatty with the serve. Oh! Absolute destruction! Our camp.
Joel Auerkamp showing that he can hammer the ball with that lefty swing from the left side. Getting a lot of action tonight so far for San Diego.
Nick England had to be pleased by that one, but his team not in a comfortable spot right here, down 1-0. Chapman, that nearly clips the roof, as close as we've seen so far, and that one sails long and wide by Kendall Ratter. Think about the velocity in that. Off of the hands, I believe, of Ratter, and went 75 feet up.
At least, yeah.
That's just shows you just how much torque and gas these guys are attacking with. Now, as strong as these guys' hands are, not to break. As that one into the bench, and the Ramblers are outraged.
And this is the problem that San Diego's going to run into. They aren't setting their middles enough. Even when this pass is within the 10-foot line, but not right on top of the net, they have to be able to throw in the sets to the middle, and they haven't been able to do that yet.
Picking middles, here is Kevin Vaz to serve an ace. And it's now a 2-point lead for the Ramblers.
Just a lot of service weapons from the inline for the Ramblers. Multiple players getting aces.
That's left short. Say hello to Coach Carlo Edra and middle blocker Tom Burrell of the New Jersey Freedom. They are currently on the plane. I believe it's a United flight coming from New Jersey out here to California, because Sunday they will take on a Las Vegas Ramblers squad and hope to do that to them. Big block there by Uchenna Ofoha, teaming with Kendall Ratter. Vegas and New Jersey did not play last year. They were the best two teams in the regular season. Although I think the Texas Tyrants could probably throw in that equation as well. However, New Jersey was 10-0 last season. Vegas was 9-1, and they won the final 10 matches of the regular season and playoffs. Finally get a chance to meet this weekend. That's blocked back. Another chance for San Diego, and a standing attack. You never see that. Kendall Ratter is like, I'm going to take him to slap it off your hands, and that's what he did.
What?
Put that on the highlight reel.
What a brave play. He walked right up there, stood on the ground, and swung as hard as he could up into the blocker's hands to get the tool.
I have never seen that before.
I've never seen that either.
I need to see that again. Leaping, saved there by Vegas. What a pass there by their libero, Emin Enriquez, but that's too long. Maybe they should just attack standing flat-footed. That's what the cool kids do now. 13-13, game number 2 here in Long Beach. It's a nightcap here on day 1. And here is Gert Lisha. Blocked back, that's covered by the Wild. Uchenna Ofoha finds the slot.
Uchenna Ofoha does a great job offensively for the San Diego Wild. He jumps straight up and down, contacts that ball at a really high point, and hits the ball deep past the block and the defenders. Got to give him some kudos for being up and available, especially in the counterattack for San Diego.
Our camp to serve. Nearly a free ball. Oh my gosh. Felix Chapman on a ball that nearly became an overpass. Absolutely destroyed.
Well, that's all credit to Gert, the setter. He's 6'6". He can jump and go get the tight pass. He does it, gives a one-handed set back. Felix Chapman says thank you very much.
Gert out of USC. Chapman into the net, serves the ace. And we have reached the technical timeout here in game 2. Las Vegas leading by 1, hoping to take a 2-0 lead when we return. Back here in Long Beach, California. A little peppering going on during the technical timeout. This place has gone to the dogs. Ollie England is in the building. You see him there in the back corner. Not a team mascot? Well, I guess maybe he is. Maybe he's the wild that they're referring to. Maybe. They've rescued him and tamed him. Is that on the line? Las Vegas seems to think it is. They might challenge this. If it is, it'll be a block by Penrose. And we are going to challenge whether this is in or out. This will be the first challenge of the match. San Diego actually celebrating that because they believe they had a good view on it.
Yeah, not too sure what they're celebrating about.
I think they're celebrating the wasted challenge.
Perhaps.
We honestly just can't see it. I mean, based on where the location of the Mikasa banner is, and shout out to Mikasa, official ball of the NVA, but we couldn't see exactly where that Mikasa ball landed. Good product placement, by the way. Dropping a ball right in front of your sign.
I'm gonna put salt on my words and eat it here, and I guess it's like that.
We're about to check out the replay for this one. Joe Aguiar is the R1 for this one. Robin Burton, the R2. As you see the San Diego Wild bench, as we're getting ready for the replay to be queued up. Sometimes you got to find just that right frame. As you see the wide shot here inside Long Beach City College. Long Beach City College, by the way, you know, is surprisingly big. 33,800 students attend this college.
Long Beach, California is, I believe, in the top 5 populated cities in the state of California.
I think as of 2020, it was the 7th most populated. Good guess, though.
Thank you for the correction.
466,000. And we never unfortunately got a chance to show you the replay. We just got to give you a lot of Jeopardy facts, but looks like San Diego's celebration was not premature, as that ball was indeed out. Las Vegas loses its first challenge. They will have 2 more to go. Of course, they could gain one back if they're successful. So Kendall Ratter, your server. It is a 15-15 game. And that is out of play clearly that time as he caroms off of the leg of Rena Smith. Line judge on current Las Vegas side of the court. Elvin Otley is the other line judge for this one. Chamberlain serving for the second time as a pro. Reach out and stuff someone. Kaveen Vaz, one-on-one. Straight into the back row. And the Ramblers lead swells to 2. Again, Kaveen Vaz so
Vaz
unassuming.
Eric Beatty that time pairing up for that block out of the back row.
Chamberlain takes something off of that one, passes a little errant. They'll use Auerkamp though, and he's able to tool the triple.
Joel Auerkamp, so creative and effective in those situations that are non-perfect plays, right? Out-of-system plays. Just toss the ball up, give him a high set, good step close, and he uses that big left arm to swing at it.
So they will go back to the bench here and bring in Christopher Schaefer, El Salvarochena Foha. Again, we'll be right back here tomorrow morning for day 2 of the weekend, starting at 9 a.m. LA Blaze against the New Jersey Freedom. One team's 2-0, one team's 0-2. Kaveen Vaz finds a useful spot for that one. And Las Vegas hanging on to a 2-point lead here in game 2. Match that, well, I think most of us thought would go perhaps at the distance, at least 4. Right now seems to be very much in favor of Las Vegas through 1.5 sets. Back set here. And Rose read it well. And that's going to have to be saved by the libero as Chapman was a little early. They leave it for Penrose in the back row, and he gets the touch. It was in anyway, as Penrose found a good spot along the back line.
That was a great adjustment by Penrose as well. That set not exactly in front of him, but a good footwork adjustment, and then still drives it through the block and down.
And avoids the 10-foot line violation. So a little footwork not only to get himself a useful approach that he can swing at, but also avoid the violation attempt. He'll serve wide and nearly decapitates Nick England's wife.
Keep the ball away from the dog, or else that ball will get popped quickly.
Is he a retriever?
Every dog loves a ball. I'm gonna bite it, pop it, those sharp teeth through it.
The balls aren't cheap. Those are quality Mikasa balls. That's blocked back. Reach out and stuff someone. Kaveen Vaz, Eric Beatty. Jeez Louise, they can't find a way around them. And the blocking game for the Ramblers here in the second set has evolved. Kaveen Vaz pretty much was by himself in the first set, and now he's got company. He's got friends helping. And his squad leads by 3 as they are the first to 20. Nearly a free ball. Chapman tried to swing at it. Penrose with the dig. Felix Chapman hammers at home.
Now the San Diego Wild just can't slow down this Rambler offense. Just so many weapons.
Says something about how much more improved the Matadors are this year, that they found a way, as undersized as they are, to beat this team. Left short. That might be the most impressive victory in the league this year.
It's definitely a quality victory, but an early victory in the season.
The most surprise victory of the year, I think we could definitely say.
Definitely, yes.
Team that has not made the playoffs in the last 2 years against a team that won it all. Gonna go outside, Chapman. Was a little early there, and that allowed our camp to lead the block there alongside Joshua Duarte. And the Wild within 2. It's 21-19. Vegas on top here in game 2 in Long Beach. Better pass by Chapman. He's going to get a chance to swing away and tools the block for side out.
This is what the Ramblers do really well also, is if they do give up a point, they can come right back with just another weapon to make the point, get the side out, and continue into their rhythm and momentum.
Here's Jonathan Carlson. Comes back over after the big swing. And this time sticking it through the block. Our camp gets his. Gertlich has done a quality job leading this team so far as the setter. Haven't had to say his name too often. He's doing his job. Again, working with a tough pass. You see what he does there as he sets up Chamberlain for the put away. 2 positions on the court that if we don't say their names very often, that means they're excelling. And that's setter and libero. And right now, Las Vegas is chugging along in both. A Foha with an answer. He's able to stick that on the line. So San Diego, one last gasp here in game 2, down 23-21 as they'll hand it to our camp. And that clips the line. And Las Vegas thought about challenging it, but Emin Enriquez, libero, nods at Miguel Monterola. He's like, yeah, that was in. Don't waste it. And instead, they'll call timeout to try to freeze the server. San Diego within 1, 23-22. More to come when we return. Back here courtside, Ira and Matt. Noah's here too. Las Vegas Ramblers after the timeout, looking for a side out here. Otherwise, San Diego will tie it at 23-all. And that one won't be brought back, and we are even at 23-23. This ball is gross. Ball came into the table. That's nasty stuff right there. What's that funk on the ball? Chapman, not a great pass. And setter couldn't save it, so new set here. Beatty, better pass. They go to Chapman, and he misfires. Yeah. Bad pass and a misfire on attack. And suddenly, San Diego's turned the tables, and they have set point, 24-23. Long. And we play into extra points here in game 2. All square at 24. See if Felix Chapman can redeem those 2 miscues. Yes, he'll drop behind the service line. Foha gets a second look at it and a second crack he likes.
Back-to-back sets through the middle. Second time worked for him.
Kendall Ratter will come back in to serve. It'll be set point number 2 for San Diego, but it'll have to wait until after this timeout when we return, 25-24. Now we're back here, set point number 2 for the San Diego Wild. And that is long as well, 25-25. You know what we haven't seen at all in this match?
What's that?
We've never seen a set or dump attempt.
If you were setting the Ramblers with all these set hitters on your team, would you dump the ball?
Probably not, but I still haven't seen it. Here's Chamberlain. Down the line and wide. Misfire there gives Las Vegas back the edge. Carl and Zig couldn't find the court. Chamberlain will serve. Set point number 2 for Las Vegas.
Uh-oh.
And the Wild play on. So Carl Zig's able to get the kill to even at 26. Quality volleyball here late. Neither team wanting to be the one that makes that final mistake, as Cheno Foha will serve here. They go outside to Beatty. Cannot be run down. Foha slid a long way to try to save that one. Could not. And this will be set point number 2 now for Las Vegas after San Diego had a pair. The Wild, they're going to call a timeout, down 1. More to come in a second, 27-26. Back here in Long Beach, San Diego using their final timeout here. And it will be Jalen Penrose trying to give his squad a 2-0 lead. Won't happen here. And we'll play on again, 27-27. Here's the setter, Colby Elder. And that's going to be put away with the back row by Penrose. So Vegas, that'll push Chapman to the front row, and Eric Beatty, all-star last year for the Inland Empire Matadors, will try to give his new team set number 2, leading 28-27. Down the line and an answer. Big smash from Owen Karlzig. Karlzig will now drop back to serve, 28-28. So we know at minimum this set's going to reach 30 points. Karlzig, good serve there. They push it outside the Chapman, and Picone couldn't bring it back.
Great swing by Chapman, but a better set from Gert Lisha, the setter for the Ramblers. On the run, puts that ball right where his teammate needs it.
Ramblers will go to the bench. Spencer Andrews, big supporter of Noah Chast's hairstyle, as he came out publicly and said that's a great haircut on Instagram when I was poking some fun at Noah a couple weeks ago. I love your hair, Noah. Momentarily pause here as Kevin Vaz, I think, had to add some tape to his finger. Looks like they're reversing the substitution, and Vaz is going to serve. So they're reversing the sub. Well, Spencer still got his shout out.
It'll go down as a time delay against the Ramblers, but we'll play on now.
I think they would rather have Spencer Andrews serve. What was that?
I don't know. He got a service ace earlier with a jump serve. He decided to stand at the end line and float serve that one into the net.
So, to my daughter Kendra Thor and her teammates, if they're watching this match, just understand that it's not just you. It could happen at the professional level. I'm sorry for turning my back when I saw that last week. And that is stuffed down Uchenna Afoha off the forehead of Max Chamberlain. We have some silence. San Diego Wild, they lead 30-29. They have set point number 4. Served by Duarte. And a useful answer by Max Chamberlain, who uses his head there.
Another good choice to go right back to your middle after he gets blocked. This time goes with a finesse shot.
Well, those middles, you know, they don't let much bother them, like goalkeepers in soccer. Allow a goal, get back up, and forget it ever happened. And the same thing here with Chamberlain, got stuffed badly and came back with an answer at 30-30. Overball nearly can't be brought back. The presence of Jalen Penrose just enough there. And Las Vegas, losing track of how many set points this is, but I think this is their fourth set point for Las Vegas, 31-30. Each team now has had 4 chances to end this. Joel Auerkamp gives his team set point number 5 as he picks up yet another kill. Off the court, brought back by Chapman. 31-31, can't be saved. And an ace for San Diego. And now 32-31. Set point number 5, 6, something like that. Here we go. Chapman got the line. San Diego says no. San Diego says no. Elvin Otley, the line judge, says no. So we know what's coming. It's going to be a challenge. Nick England immediately signals to Ty Boyd. Said Robin Burton before. Robin was scheduled to work the match, but has a knee injury apparently. Ty Boyd is our R2, and he will take a look. In or out? If it's in, we play on at 32-32. If it's out, we're tied at 1 set apiece. So Ty Boyd having a conversation with Nick England. Still waiting for the feed, see if we can catch that replay.
The set is getting close to the NVA scoring record for one set, I would think. That was 35-33?
I think that's what it was, yeah. And while we did not get to see the replay, it has been upheld. And Las Vegas has tied it at 32. So we might be getting close to that 35-33 threshold because no one will roll over and die. Although Ollie England in the building is rolling over at least, so we at least got that part down. And there's an answer. Put away here by Kendall Ratter. Set point number something for San Diego.
We've lost count of set points.
I went to a state school. My math skills aren't that good. Off the tape. Chamberlain lays out for it. Beatty. It's blocked back. Las Vegas trying to stay alive, and they will, because Jalen Penrose is a bad man who's missing out on delicious Korean food by being with us, helping his team survive. So now Spencer Andrews will come in. He'll serve instead for Chamberlain, instead of for Kaveen Vaz. (33-33), so we're going to at least tie the NVA set scoring record of 35-33. Andrews, who is a setter by trade, and that is stuck through by Penrose. Joe Norman actually says that the set scoring record might have been 40-38 with the Untouchables involved last year. I didn't call that match, so I can't verify. But they're going to call a timeout here. So we're going to take a look at a replay. It wasn't a timeout. It was actually a challenge here. And, well,
that was the ball a couple points back that San Diego Wild challenged on the Rambler attack.
That's in.
Yeah.
So, by the way, Joe Norman, very, very wise man. He was actually pretty close. The record is 41-39. And we're not going to, well, maybe we'll see it here. San Diego just destroys that one. And we're tied at 34-34. All right, so wasn't 35-33. That's just the matches that Matt and I did. We didn't do this one.
That was way off.
Last year, I save every box score. I knew every once in a while they come in handy.
Yep. And you bring it with you.
I do bring it with me. It fits in my carry-on. game number 3 between the Tyrants and the Untouchables last year. 3-1 win for Texas. 41-39. Texas won game 3. 41-39. Are we going to get there today? San Diego has the lead 35-34. By the way, if you're curious, that match was on July 8th of 2022. Afoa serving for the set. And we, of course, play on, because what else would we do? All right, we're going to change things up here. 35-35. Matt and I are both significantly older than 35, so we are now standing.
Oh.
Penrose misses that one into the crowd. 36-35, set point number 32 for San Diego. That's not actually a true number, but we are woefully unaware of how many set points this has been. Run back, great save, and Penrose, it's going to end up upstairs, and we play on again, 36-36.
A swing from Jalen Penrose, hammering out of the back row.
These two juggernauts already, and I think we can say that about San Diego, as they are proven to be a top 3-4 team in the league in their early going. Nobody will accept losing.
Back row.
And San Diego into the net. Or is it a back row attack? Back row attack is the call. The setter tried to sky to save it, and that gives Las Vegas their first set opportunity since about 32-31, I believe. Beatty, your server. The roll shot comes over. Picone there to pick it up, and then put away by Joel Allerkamp. And 37-37. We're getting close to curfew here in Long Beach. I'm still on East Coast time. This is bad for my health.
We all know you're a night owl, Ira. Come on.
I am. Not a morning guy. Morning shows, not my thing. And Kaveen Vaz took something off of that one, but Cone couldn't stab at it enough. And Las Vegas, will this be the one? It's 38-37. How do you guys play a third set?
They're in the third set right now.
Can we just combine the two into one
carry
set?
Over.
San Diego trying to stay on. Brought back by Beatty, and this will be free balled over. Picone there. And the standing attack, they're saying no. And it's over at 39-37. The second longest set in the history of the NVA ultimately belongs to the Las Vegas Ramblers. 39-37. Not going to see that very often, but that was a test between two teams playing like warriors in the early going. We will take a break because we need a nap, folks. Come back for game number 3 here in Long Beach. After the longest set of the season, we're going to send it over to Noah Chast with a very tired Nick England.
Well, thank you, Ira, here with Nick England. Nick, I mean, what was that, 102 to 101 or whatever it was?
We just wanted everyone here to have get full ticket price for their admission there. That was something.
How do you regroup after a set like that?
You know, I mean, this is going to be a gut check, but that's what I love. This is why I was so happy we got the Ramblers early on. I mean, look at that lineup over there. You pay a lot of money for that in a lot of countries. So it's great that a bunch of guys that haven't been in the league get to come in early and get a little heat check, gut check, see what the league's all about. So now we answer back. Now we see what we're made of, and hopefully the boys are ready to answer. But you can't train this, so I'm excited to see what we do right here.
Is there a way you guys can maybe separate a little bit from this Rambler team in what's been two contentious sets?
No. Are you kidding? Look at that team over there. This high-level volleyball, you don't create separation. You play your ball, you just crank serves, you play hard, play aggressive. If you think you're getting more than 3 points away from that team, I think you're not looking who's over there.
I like to ask Nick the dumb questions for even better answers. Guys, back to you.
Well, there is certainly no skating by in either of these teams, but if you do like to skate, we like to give some love to our players in the league, and these are creations of Nick West from your OC Stunners.
This piece glows in the dark.
They
Gotta
glow
make
in the
sure
dark,
you
and
get it
if
right.
you would like one of these are called glow boards. You can go to glowboardskate.com or glowskate on Instagram. Nick West, his own line of custom skateboards that glow in the dark. They're hand painted. I mean, I couldn't really skate very well when I was in my teens, so I'm not going to try now on national TV. However, if you do skate, support Nick West and company. And again, visit him on Instagram at glowskate or glowboardskate.com. Hand painted from Nick West. And after the match, Noah Chast will interview man of the match while riding one of these, perhaps, maybe. All right, after all of that, we have to play another set.
That was a 47-minute second set, Ira. 47 minutes. The previous game was 25 minutes. We almost played 2 full sets in set number 2.
There were some matches last year for a team that we're not going to mention that only lasted 47 minutes.
That's true. That definitely is true.
Well, thankfully the rental for the arena lasts until, I believe, midnight, so we're good for a bit in case we want to go 5. But
don't put it out there, Ira.
I mean,
don't put it out there.
I agree with what Nick said. There you see Miguel Monterolo, the other coach for Las Vegas. I agree with Nick. I mean, how will these teams separate from each other for more than a couple points? I think the largest lead in the match so far was 4 points, and that was actually the final score in game number 1, 25-21, where Las Vegas just pulled away very late. But these two teams just are too good to surrender, 3, 4, 5 points at a time. And Taryn Rodriguez, who is obviously a veteran reporter for the NVA, said that was, before that, the longest set this year was 31-29.
So the Ramblers have just been given a red card to start set number 3 for their second delay of game. We haven't gotten any clarification on what exactly was the delay. It had something to do with the lineup coming in, but that is why San Diego has a 1-0 lead before the first serve of set number 3.
So that's like your technical foul in basketball.
It's like your second technical foul, I think.
If you don't turn your lineup in basketball, you get a technical foul too. Rarely known rule, because it doesn't happen too often. No. Ultimately, if this one goes the distance again, Ramblers will rue not having that point. Felix Chapman adding some eye drops, probably some Visine. Probably a little sleepy after that one.
Like most of us that have been here since 7 a.m. today.
Yeah, why do we have to show up so early? It's day 1.
And we know you're not a morning person.
No, I'm not. I have these 7 a.m. conference calls at work now. Why do they do that to me?
Oh, that's brutal.
Get a new job and they punish you with 7 a.m. conference calls. I come out here and we show up at 7 a.m. for the NVA Today pregame show, and then we'll be here until probably 10 o'clock by the time we're done here. So as the teams are on the court, set 3 will begin momentarily. It will be San Diego already up 1-0. I might hold on to that Nick West skateboard, see if it'll fit in my carry-on. Get myself a new hobby when I get back to Jersey. As for earned point belongs to Las Vegas here in game number 3. Ramblers looking to go back above 500. They win today. It'll be their 11th win in their last 12 outings. Kaveen Vaj, your server. You go outside to our camp. Useful spot on the roll. San Diego has not yet tasted defeat as a professional franchise. One of 3 expansion teams this year: San Diego Wild, Philadelphia Founders, and the Puerto Rico Pythons. As that is slugged into the net. Of course, they replace the Dallas Tornadoes after 2 seasons. And of course, the Seattle Sasquatch and Colorado Kraken, who their time with us was short. Looking for Chapman. Oh, and he finds a great spot in front of a lunging Wild player who's Colby Elder, the setter, who lunged for that one and just didn't have enough room. And for Felix Chapman, that's 13 kills now, but considering how long that second set was, he only had 7 kills in the second set. That sails long. Misfire there by the Ramblers' Gert Lisha. His team, behind his fine setting today, hitting 57% as a team.
That's a good number.
And his block has helped out as well. With 8 blocks right now as a team, that's held the Wild to just 41% hitting. 41% at the collegiate level, that's a pretty darn good day. At the professional level, well, that's just not good enough. They go to Ofoha, and a little bit of a dump. There's a cross between an attack and a dump there. Karam's off the net, and they don't get a good read where the Ramblers. So a 4-4 score, game 3. As our camp serves. Beatty with the pass. Stabbing at that one was Leor Schiffer. And ultimately it's the Ramblers shutting it down for the point.
Nice block in transition that time by the Ramblers. Credit to the Wild for extending that rally, but just the block continues to work nicely for Las Vegas.
Nick West says, I left the gym at the start of this set, and I just got home and it's still on. I'm looking at the discussion board, the chat in the feed. Well, the good news is Nick didn't hit any traffic on the way home. Yeah, on a Friday night in Southern California, that's a win. As that's left short.
It's going to be hard for the Wild right now. They've got to put some pressure right back on Las Vegas. After a bit of a letdown after going that long in set number 2, it's a tough situation for them to be in.
A couple of our fans in the chat are disappointed it didn't reach 40. I'm lucky I reached 40, quite frankly. As that is off the block for the kill. That was an age joke if you couldn't tell. Cheno Fohav will be your server. Don't look at me like that.
I was hoping the game would get to 46-44. I feel like that'd be probably right on point.
think that's about what our actually ages are. That is wide by Beatty. I don't know, I forget how old I am some days. Some days I wake up, I feel like I'm 22. Other days I wake up and I wonder how I woke up. But thankful every time it happens. Beatty reach out and stuff someone as Duarte gets involved there, teaming for the block with Colby Elder, and San Diego has opened up a 2-point lead. Something they were not able to do late in game number 2, where we'd be tied 1-1. Beatty waiting for that one. They go back to Eric, gets blocked back again, and then poked deep. Kaveen Faz into coffin corner.
Beatty doing a good job passing the ball, just really somewhat struggling with his offensive game throughout this match. In that position, he gets set only on the left side of the court. Like I said, he's been passing the ball well. He goes from the end line as that serve goes into the net.
So Elder will be your server. They leave it for Chapman. Too tight for him to work with, and a point over to San Diego, up by 3. And Las Vegas with the side out. Kaveen Vaj, your server. That's off the head of our referee. Poor Joe Aguiar. (10-9), San Diego up 1. Off balance, still pretty good swing on that by our camp, and Las Vegas can't counter. Our camp didn't get a full swing on it, but was able to make, chicken soup out of. And San Diego gets the side out. They leave for Penrose, and that's going to be a 10-foot line violation. So no concussion clearly for Joe Aguiar. He saw that clearly. Happy our lead official's okay. And this time left short by Schiffer. Your Schiffer out of UC San Diego, 6'4". Here is Gert Lisha, 6'6" setter out of USC. Our camp splits.
Wow.
Takes the flag out of the hands. Wow. Alvin Otley got nutmegged by the ball, then stuck the ball out, the flag out, and took the flag out of his hands. By the way, the ball was not in. Debut for our camp, and he shut down Max Chamberlain. teaming with Felix Chapman for the first time. As the two of them put Las Vegas back in a tie. And finally, the run ends for Gert Leisha at Naperville, Illinois. Spanned his career between Lewis and USC, did Leisha. Penrose puts it away. Jalen Penrose finished his Penn State career with nearly 500 kills. He was a very good player on a Penn State roster that had a lot of very good players, including former New Jersey Freedom standout Chris Nugent, as the Ramblers take out their own sign. Interesting enough, Penrose as a collegian, his attack percentage was only 18.184 for a career. I mean, he's significantly improved post-college, as Eric Beatty puts that away. And it's not like he wasn't playing with good setters at Penn State. He's just clearly gotten better since in the last 5 years, playing internationally, as he showcases his blocking skills with the solo block on the pin. And that takes us to the tactical timeout here in game number 3. Vegas up 2-0. They lead 15-14. More to come here in Long Beach.
I can't read that. It's fine. Ramblers have reached 15 in all 3 sets that have been 14-15. 15-14. Thank you, Taryn. Yeah, we're not on yet.
Noah's always ready. He's Matt. I'm Ira. There's Noah, and Noah Chaz has a report.
Well, Ira, I just want to touch on what you were mentioning with Jalen Penrose. So I actually was a student when he was a player at Penn State, and you mentioned that kill percentage. It seems askew, but that's really the player he was. He came in as a serving specialist and sometimes a blocking or even hitting specialist, but his control was, or there was a lack of control. He had that heavy arm you see now, but the consistency was all over the place. It wasn't until he went overseas that he really found an all-around form game. But at Penn State, he truly was a wild card.
He's certainly not a wild card here. He is that guy that Las Vegas can rally behind other than Felix Chapman. Penrose's career high was 22 kills. That was against Lewis as a sophomore. It's nice when Noah Chess collegiate friends make the pros with him. They leave it in the middle. Oh, Uchenna Foha with a response. And San Diego up 1.
Ira, Afoa has done a good job taking some of that offensive pressure off of Joel Auerkamp. But they still need someone else to come in and start scoring some points for them.
And until they get some of their reinforcements, well, we're seeing San Diego. Yeah, they're a contender, but they're still missing some guns, and that's wide. They put up the block as a decoy, and Las Vegas misfires there. A rare miss from Penrose. And the San Diego lead is 2. Penrose gets a second crack at it. Brought back by San Diego. And it's going to have to be dumped over. Vegas nearly missed that opportunity. Oh, reach out and stuff someone. Penrose and Kaveen Vaz finish the show.
And the Rambler blocking just continues to shut down, especially in the extended rallies, Ira. They do such a good job getting in front of the hitter when it's only a high ball situation, shoulder to shoulder, and shutting it down.
And very patient block there indeed, as Penrose will drop back to serve. San Diego lead now just 1. Block back again. Penrose from the back row. That one lands in San Diego. And the Wild lead back to 2. And Beatty does a good job there of not only tooling the block, getting the heck out of the way to avoid a haircut.
Yeah, good job on the dodgeball talent there from the 6'8", Eric Beatty. On his way down, somehow gets out of the way.
They don't play dodgeball in school anymore, by the way. At least not on the East Coast. These kids don't know what they're missing. That was a great game. Can't dodge that. Double block.
That was a triple block, Ira.
Was it triple?
I know
Everybody involved.
your angle's blocked by some of our equipment, but that was a triple block.
Well,
and
Chapman
I'm
was
pretty sure
definitely
it was
involved,
Chapman.
but it was definitely Kaveen Vaz teaming there with their setter in Gert Leisha. But geez Louise, no way would get out of the way of that one. As that Karen right back in his face. And Vegas has tied it at 18 and taken the lead with the ace. Eric Beatty blowing that one by for San Diego. They will swap out and make a substitution here. Schiffer's out. They bring back in Kendall Ratter. And net violation on San Diego, and Las Vegas has a 2-point lead, 20-18. Las Vegas has a challenge left if they hope to use it.
Don't challenge it. Oh, that was not a smart challenge, Nick. It was right in front of our first official.
They will take a look at whether there was indeed a net violation.
This one should take all of 2.5 seconds to confirm that the setter did in fact make contact with the net as he set the ball. Right there. Right there. Jersey on the bottom of the net.
Well, the replay gives Matt
it's
something
a
to talk about,
small
that's for sure.
touch, but I saw it. Joe saw it. Noah saw it.
I'm staying out of this. I'm going to be Switzerland. But great job by the replay cameras.
I don't know if that replay is enough to overturn it, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. If there's not enough to overturn it, well, then you have to go with what was originally called. And that is indeed what they do. Whether he grazed the net or not, there wasn't enough there to overturn what was called on the court. Ramblers have it up to 5 away from a, well, maybe a surprising sweep. It wouldn't be a surprise that they win. It's a surprise the fashion. Chapman dug off the net here and sent over. Las Vegas into the net, so it goes right back to San Diego, up 1. Tell you what, though, if Las Vegas holds on and wins this set in 3, I think there's no doubt that Jalen Penrose is your man of the match. Wasn't even supposed to be here when we did the pregame show. Basically expected him not to be here, which, well, part of the reason I made the pick that I did. And you know what? That changes the complexion of a match. One guy who would come in and deliver that offense, you take him out of the equation, and this is a very different picture. So Las Vegas holds on. I can't see anybody else earning that honor for this one.
Appreciate your opinion on that one, Ira. Very adamant about who the man of the match should be from your eyes.
But you get a vote too, but it's Jalen Penrose. I mean, ultimately, Noah's got the mic, so he could go talk to Nick if he wanted to. Nick could be the man of the match
This
again.
is Noah's show, let's all be honest.
That's wide. I mean, at the end of the day, Nick England has been a man of the match, and none of us have been, so.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, here's a man who has been a man of the match before. It's the other Thor, Jacob Vanderbeek, making his debut today for Las Vegas, in this match at least. Former member of the Inland Empire Matadors. He was my broadcast partner last year during set 2 of the NVA All-Star Game when it was the Thor and Thor show. And big double block there by Chamberlain, teaming up with Gert Leisha, the setter. A lot of size for a setter. And they team for yet another block to push the lead to 3. And the Ramblers closing in on what would be a very impressive 3-0 victory here today.
Oh, the trickler ace.
The tape. That's not dropping the hammer if you're Thor. That's a bolt of lightning. And the lead is 4. And day number 1 of this event, the sun is setting. And can't be brought back. Back-to-back aces by Jacob Vanderbeek. And Las Vegas, when we return, will have match point. Yellow card has been issued to Las Vegas, but 24-19, timeout on the floor. We'll be back to finish this. Back here courtside, and didn't think it was possible in this match to have a 5-point lead, but that is what Las Vegas is sitting at right now. Match point number 1 for the other Thor, Jacob Vanderbeek. After 2 aces to get his team in this position, well, Joel Auerkamp with a temporary reprieve.
Says not yet.
Auerkamp has had a great match.
Yes.
This will be match point number 2. Kendall Ratter, your server. Off the tape. Run down by Leisha. And then finished off by Jalen Penrose as the Las Vegas Ramblers, after one of the longest sets in NVA history in Game 2, pull away here late in game 3, 25-20, and they win the match 25-21, 39-37, and 25-20. The Ramblers with a decisive victory today over a San Diego Wild team that, well, when they get all their pieces in place, this will certainly be a great matchup if they are able to meet again later this year in the postseason. But the Ramblers bounce back from a tough loss at the end of Event 1 to the Inland Empire Matadors. They improve to 2-1 on the season, and the San Diego Wild, for the first time as a professional franchise, they taste defeat, but they got a long season of good volleyball in front of them this season.
Yeah, certainly. And they've shown glimpses of some good stuff, right? What they've got in their kind of repertoire, their armory, if you will. But yes, we expect them to continue to get better throughout the season. For the Ramblers, I mean, this is their group. I don't think they're adding any more players, maybe 1 or 2 more pieces. Only time will tell. However, that's a very dangerous team over there. We'll see if they can maintain that level throughout the remainder of the season.
Well, the San Diego Wild now 2-1 on the season. Victories over Utah and Philadelphia. They have the LA Blaze coming up on Sunday. The Blaze haven't won yet. You know, you picture San Diego's probably the favorite into that match, but again, they don't have everything that we expect them to have, and still we're able to stay with a very good Las Vegas Ramblers squad that looks different. Listen, they're still the defending champions until somebody takes that award out of their hands, but they're going to do it with a very different look this year. Jalen Penrose, Felix Chapman weren't on the team last year. Penrose not in the league. Felix Chapman starring for the Dallas Tornadoes. That's a dangerous 1-2 punch.
It really is. I mean, there's so many weapons, you know, at the pins, through the middle. Gert Leisha did a nice job running the offense for the Ramblers. Dangerous from the inline. Obviously, their blocking was really on point. We're just waiting for the final stats from that match, but I mean, probably over 10 terminal blocks in 3 sets, 3 extended sets.
And probably about 7 of them from Kaveen Vaz.
Probably, yeah.
So as Noah Chast doesn't get set here,
yes, sir.
as I demanded,
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Demanded, our man of the match is Jalen Penrose standing by with Noah Chast.
All right, Jalen, our man of the match. A lot of us didn't think you were going to be here, but you made it. Are you glad you came?
Yeah, of course. It's always fun to play with the boys.
Heck yeah, 16 points for you, 13 kills, an ace, and 2 blocks. I mean, what felt good against this talented San Diego squad?
They're a good team. They fight. They don't give up on anything. You know, they're scrappy, so that's always tough to score against. But, you know, just being confident in our team, our physicality, which I think we did a good job. Besides serving a little bit, I think we missed a little bit too many serves, but we played pretty well.
How great does it feel after maybe a disappointing end to Event 1 to come back and have a win like this?
Like Giannis said, you know, we don't look at the failure. We don't look at it as a failure, but as a learning, you know, point. I've also been here for a little bit longer, so I'm a little bit more fresh and, you know, living the normal lifestyle that I would if I was back home or something. So I'm able to get into a groove and help the team do whatever it takes.
I like the Giannis outlook. Unfortunately, our Penn State Nittany Lions have to face that same outlook, but can I get a quick we are?
We are, baby.
Penn State. All right, Jalen Penrose, the man of the match. Thank you, Jalen. Appreciate it.
If I had known that would have happened, I would have vetoed my suggestion of having
Where's the
Penrose
mute button to hit really
be the
fast
man
at
of
the end there?
How did we not see that coming? We set up 2 Penn State grads, and we're going to get a we are. And
You know, Noah's been all about the state of Pennsylvania today on multiple matches, so, you know, we'll just chalk it up to some homer pride, which that's fine. You know, I'm okay with it.
I mean, I'm from New Jersey, and I'm not always picking the New Jersey Freedom to win. I mean, I'm not saying we are Rutgers or something. I don't know, but I guess we deserve that. But Jalen Penrose, deservedly the man of the match today. He and Felix Chapman, along with just a great job all around by Gert Leisha, the center. Probably the other person that would have been in that conversation, did a good job running the offense. Las Vegas Ramblers kind of, you know, got tested at the end of event number 1 in a way that we did not expect, but bounced back nicely. Say your final thoughts on this one.
You know, again, a lot of weapons on that Rambler side. San Diego has got some talent, and they're going to be improving throughout the season as well. All in all, a great Friday here in Long Beach, day 1 of event 2 for the NVA, and you know, 2 more action-packed days coming this weekend.
Well, let's get you set for tomorrow, which will be May 6th, starting at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and of course 12 noon Eastern, where we will have Two teams that did not play today. The LA Blaze 0-2 on the year against the New Jersey Freedom that have now won 12 consecutive regular season matches dating back to last year. We'll see if they can keep that trend going tomorrow. Then it'll be the OC Stunners looking for a bounce-back win as they take on the Orlando Southern Exposure. Southern Exposure did not play today as well. They had a bye. The Inland Empire Matadors, after a surprising victory again today, take on the Philadelphia Founders at 3 p.m. Pacific, and then we'll end the day as the Chicago Untouchables take on the Utah Stingers, who will wait the longest of any team to play this weekend. That'll do it here from Long Beach, California. 4 matches in the books today. 8 more to go this weekend as we bring you the second event of the NVA's 2023 regular season. For Noah Chast and Matt Prosser and our entire crew, I'm Ira Thor. Till we talk to you tomorrow morning. Be well, everybody.